Hello everybody. This is my digital presentation, Applying Theory to Practice. My name is Casey Chumley. I'm in the Communication 613 Constructing Messages and Audiences class. And here we're going to discuss how two completely or seemingly completely different circumstances have a lot to do with each other. And here we go with probably the first one. Okay, as you can see right here, the presentation of my case is about a year ago I was fired from my job. I was working as a waitress, doing work at an Italian restaurant, and I thought I was doing pretty good. I mean, I had just completed my training, yet about 2 weeks in, my boss took me over to the corner and said, "We're going to let you go." And I asked, why? Why should I be forced to leave when I thought I was doing a great job? He said that it was because I didn't talk loud enough, I didn't make eye contact with anybody, and they just didn't like that, so, apparently they couldn't keep me as a waitress anymore, or a server. So, obviously I was a little upset, but here we are talking about how this could correlate with another piece of evidence, which I will put right here. Foucault. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Michel Foucault, or Michael Foucault, was a man who studied communication. And his idea was that the higher-ups had this idea of what communication was, and they dictated that toward their people through the media, through politics, through economic standards, and that we were all just a part of it, and we had to adhere to what they thought was good communication skills. He did various extensive studies on this and decided that, while we sort of created communication, we all respond to it socially. And that is something that we all have to look into as a people. Alright, here's a video. I will press play on it right now.
As you can probably tell, Foucault has his own ideas of what it means to be a communicative person, or to communicate well. And he suggests that the media, the economics, the political powers at hand are the ones who control that sort of standard to what good communication is. And in turn, they also control what the public sees as the truth, which can go along very well with politics today. So, to put it quite frankly, to analyze this situation of which my boss did not appreciate my communication skills, it's easy to say that as a person in power, he had his own ideas of what it meant to communicate well. And apparently, even though I thought I was doing a good job, I did not live up to his standards of what it meant to be a good waitress or a good communicator in the position he had put me in.
Okay, so there's my video, in which I sort of summarized my analysis of the case according to Foucault's theory. Alright, so strategies to take in the future in a similar situation based on Foucault. Alright, here's some passage from the book that I found to be pretty helpful. Foucault argued there was a battle about the status of truth and the economic political role it plays. Each society, according to Foucault, had its regime of truth made up of the discourses which it accepted as common sense, and which therefore functioned as the truth. Foucault was interested in the rules that distinguished truth or falsehood and the power effects that were related to the truth. So to him, the truth was pretty much subject to whoever was telling it. For me to be a good waitress or a good worker, I suppose, in the future, would be to take into consideration what the owner, manager, supervisor, whoever is in power and instructing me what to do, has their own creation of what good communication is. Whether that be eye contact, whether that be being personable or being professional, or being, whether your voice has to be monotone or very light and welcoming. They all have their own ideas about what it is. and you have to apply their ideas to your communication skills. So, for lack of a better word, you kind of have to just go with the flow. You have to analyze what they consider good communication, and you have to just go along with it. That's pretty much what this is all about right here. Alright, in conclusion, what we have is everyone has their own idea of what good communication is. They create their own ideas according to the media, economic standards, and so on, and expect others to follow suit, just as Foucault had stated in his work. To avoid seeming disrespectful or inept, a person working under them must adhere to Foucault's ideas and adapt to that person's communication laws. So what we can say, in conclusion, looking at me getting fired, is that I have my own way of communicating, and it worked with my friends and my family, and I assumed that it was the right way, and that I had no reason to get fired. But in reality, he had his own way of communicating, he being my boss, and I wasn't living up to par. I wasn't going according to his standards, and to him, that was enough to give me the boot and tell me not to work at his restaurant anymore. So, in the future, I'll have to make mental notes of what my boss or what my clients or whoever I'm working for, I'll have to make mental notes of what they consider good communication, and I'll have to apply it to my own way of responding, way of talking, and everything in between, because you have to let them be comfortable with you in order to let them be comfortable with you working for them. Basically, that's what I learned from Foucault in my own experience. And here we have our references and the citations for the picture that I found. And that's about it for my presentation. I hope you had a good time, and thank you very much. I'll see you later. Bye.